Well, hello. My name is Jenna, and this is my first episode of the Bitchy Knitter. I love to knit, and I've been told that I love to bitch, so put them together, and we got the Bitchy Knitter. Um, Today, I don't even know where to start. I was gonna script things and just uh, sit here and talk about what I have written down, but I thought if I just do it off the cuff, that it would be more real. So that's what I'm going to do. Today's subject is Jay Inslee. Oh, and just a little bit of warning, I have a real foul mouth, so there may be some cussing and whatnot. So if you're offended by foul language or loud, rude women, you should probably turn off. And if you're gonna be one of them, what do they call? What does my son call them? Haters. Yeah, if you're one of those haters, just turn it off because I don't give a shit and I won't listen. Anyway, so today's subject, like I said, is about Jay Inslee because he's an asshole. He's against medical marijuana patients. He's destroyed this state. He's destroying my life as well as many other people's lives. And I want to make sure that he doesn't get reelected because he's a bad man. He really is. I've got all these letters here. I'm writing letters to the state, letters to the marijuana liquor control board, and the whole bit. So I guess we'll start with that subject. I applied for a retail marijuana license, and I've gotten nothing but grief from the state. It's a bunch of bullshit. In the first place, when I-502 passed, I had already been running a collective of my own for years. I mean, there was no official rules really, other than you could only have 45 plants and on one tax ID property. And, that's what I did. I actually helped my mom with hers. She did it. And then I had my own property, so I kind of was managing two different collectives actually, with 45 plants and three different patients on each one. So I was kind of managing six patients and two different tax ID properties. That was the only rules. Nobody paid taxes or any of that other crap. So anyway, when I-502 passed, they've changed the rules so many dang times that nobody can actually keep up with it. So last October, I believe it was August, somewhere around there, they opened up for more retail or for more licenses, and I was kind of a dumbass. I didn't really pay attention. I thought it was for a producer's license, and I was like sitting there for 2 days waiting for midnight to roll around so I could be the first one to click in there. And so we applied for the license, and then I'd been having a lot of problems with my ex-husband. Those will be other videos. What an abusive prick he was. But anyway, he comes back one day laughing his ass off. Ha ha ha! And my friend said that they're only accepting him for retail shops, and I'm like, well, no, that's not true. But I went and looked, and sure as shit, he was actually right for once. Unfortunately. So I started calling the state, trying to figure out what to do immediately, trying to figure out the rules, trying to figure out who my contact is, what to do. And this Miranda Panuska was my first contact. She sent me like two emails just telling me she'd received the application and to keep up on, whatever she asked for. And that's it. So then I couldn't get a hold of anyone for months at a time. I just did my no activity taxes every month and whatnot. And then this Frank Odell was assigned as my worker. And I finally get a hold of him like last, I don't know, January, something like that. And he's just this rude jerk, just obnoxious rude jerk. And he's like, well, you've been assigned to priority 3, and we haven't even gotten through priority 1s. Well, we haven't even gotten to priority 2, and we'll probably never get to priority 3. And that's all I could get out of him. And, then I started finding out information myself, going to different shop owners, running around with like a chicken with my head cut off, with no money, trying to leave an abusive husband, being on, food stamps and all this other crap. No vehicle of my own because my husband sheltered me and abused me. That's, like I said, another story. Hence why I have no clothes. I have nothing. I'm just getting started on my own at the age of 52, almost 53, and I'm trying to start over on my own for the first time in my life. I've never been on my own. My husband hasn't allowed me to work in 15 years. It's like, yeah. So anyway, I find out that if you'd run a collective, that you're automatically grandfathered in. So I start contacting Frank Odell and telling him, oh, well, I already had a collective. And he's like, no, you didn't. You didn't pay any taxes, so you're not legitimate. And I'm like, that's funny. Nobody paid taxes back then. Nobody. And even the few people who had paid taxes over the last year or so, because like even KP Healing Center just started collecting taxes like a year and a half, 2 years ago. And according to Good to Grow in Raymond, Washington, the state is returning all those taxes because they didn't have the legal right to collect them. So for Frank Odell to sit there and go, you didn't pay taxes is non applicable. It's stupid. It doesn't even make sense. So I keep bugging him. I'm writing letters. I'm doing everything I can. I found a shop. I had several different people. I had this dude named Jason who's supposedly a CEO at Amazon, who was going to give me any amount of money I needed, buy my business, and let me still be a small percentage partner and run the shop for him and get money basically for the rest of my life. He was going to hand me like 60 to 80 grand and let me still be a partner. So but then we had the deal all set up. We were ready to go and start working out the paperwork. And he calls me up and he's like, "Oh, well, I found out that your license is in Stevens County and that you're priority 3 and you might not even be able." Well, first of all, the dude should have probably done his homework before he even contacted me because, I mean, really, a CEO at Amazon.com, and he isn't even freaking smart enough to look up my license or do the investigative work before he even calls me and makes all these offers. I mean, that kind of sucked balls, douchebag. Anyway, oh, and the people from Good to Grow, they're douchebag assholes too. David, the dude, he calls himself a master grower, and he's supposed to be like the one of the 3 best master growers in the state of Washington. He's a freaking douchebag too. When I finally went in and saw what he was growing, it was garbage. It was bug infested, shitty, crappy garbage. And it's like, oh my God, you call yourself a master grower? If I had that kind of money and I had access to what that dude did, the the icky sticky I'd be putting out, oh my God, you'd throw that shit at the wall and it would pass the noodle test. It would stick. This guy was a douchebag and he calls himself a master grower. I've been growing weed for 32 fucking years. Dudes should be banging down my doors trying to get me to be their master grower. Just because I don't have a document. Really? Is there a document that even says master grower on it? I don't fucking think so. So anyway, yeah, I could grow weed better than that dude in my goddamn sleep in a fucking coma. But I guess I'm not cute enough, or I haven't sucked, fucked, or been in the right, whatever, young enough, or whatever to get in the biz now. Because I've tried everywhere, and it's like, I don't know. It's kind of like the mafia. If you ain't born into it or blooded in, fuck you, or cute and tiny little, whatever, little punks. That's all that seems to be able to get in the business. Little punk ass bitches who haven't even been old enough to freaking know what weed is for more than 5 or 10 years. And it's like, excuse me, you can't even step into my shoes, youngin, and you think you're a master grower? Wow. Okay, and all these rich assholes out there, if there was one out there that had a half ounce of brains, I'm your dude. I'm your grower, okay? Yeah. Nobody grows weed like me. In fact, back in the day when I was single and had several different boyfriends that I dated, they were all growers and I learned from all of them. I took the best of what I've seen from all of them, put my own program together, and I outdid every freaking one of them. I used to pride myself on being able to take their weed, their strands, get clones from them, and then go home and grow it 10 times better than what they were producing. I pat myself on the back and pride myself for that because I'm really good at it. Anyway, so moving on back to the state. So figuring out that, if I'd been growing before, that I should be grandfathered in. So I called up Frank Odell. I tell him, hey, I've been growing, this, that, and the other. I need I need to get my priority bumped up to priority one. So 2 weeks ago from today, I called him again after all these letters, all these phone calls. I called twice a week for, like, I don't know, over 8 months now. And 2 weeks ago, I call him and I'm like, Frank, this is bullshit. I have everything I need. I've had several people offer me any amount of money I need. I now have another partner who will give me any amount I need. We have a location, we have everything we need. Let me back up 1 minute. Let's talk about Monica in Colville, Washington. Let's see. Monica runs, there's only 7 shops that have been allowed in Stevens County, 7 licenses issued for retail shops in Stevens County, Washington. And Monica, who runs eSense in Colville, is monopolizing 4 of them. Three for sure, possibly the fourth one. She has her sister running one, she's running one, and she has another family member running the one in Kettle Falls. She's monopolized the whole damn thing. And the suck ass part of it is that chick was busted crossing the border in Canada like 11 years ago with marijuana. And she had a felony in the whole bit, but in this state, apparently, the rule was 10 years, so they didn't go back and look that far. So not only did she bust the rules going across the, border with pot, but before medical marijuana was even legal, her husband was a logger and grew weed illegally. And so that's the money she used to buy the Addie store in Addie. Or actually, she started out with a coffee shop next to the store. And she used her illegal marijuana money to set up her espresso stand. Then she used her illegal marijuana money to buy the Addie store itself, where she made more money and sat around while her husband was a logger and they were both growing marijuana illegally for years. And then when the state finally made it so medical, then she switches over and becomes partially legal, but she's still growing illegally underground and in all these secret places. So when the state opens up, she's the first one in line and she gets one shot, then she gets a second shot, then she gets a third shot. She's monopolizing all of it. She doesn't even deserve any. She don't deserve any shops. I should have been the first one in line. Not only do I deserve it more than anyone, but we'll go into another thing. But the state of Washington took my child from me back in 1990, or actually 90, yeah, 89, 90 was when the first time they took him. And it turned into a 9-year battle because he went to school and told his teacher that I smoked pot. It's the only thing I did. So they took my kid because I smoked pot, and it turned into a 9-year battle. I ended up losing. I had 2 kids. They only cared about the older one who went and told I smoked pot. And they were trying to make an example of me. I was on TV, on town meeting, with Ken Tram back in 89, 90, whatever, the whole bit. And it's bullshit. So, being as they took my son because I smoked weed, and now the state sells weed, making billions off of it, shoving it in my face, and I can't even get a freaking license. I certainly deserve it way more than that bitch Monica in Colville. So, anyway, so I call up Frank and I'm like, dude, I've been working in the business long before the I-502. I got the money, I got the location, I got everything. I want my priority bumped up. And I quote you not, this is what he said to me 2 weeks ago. Because in July, the laws all changed again, and the state fucked all the medical patients. Inslee did it. Jay fucking Inslee did this. Anyway, so he says to me, I quote, well, you didn't turn in the proper documents to get your priority bumped up. And I'm like, what? Excuse me? This is the first time I've ever heard of it. You never told me about any documents to turn in. And he laughs. He's like, well, if I didn't tell you before, I'm telling you now, but it doesn't matter because your window of opportunity has closed. So it sounds to me like the motherfucker intentionally didn't give me any of the information I needed until it was too late for me to do anything about it. It sounds to me like the state is intentionally trying to keep me from getting my license. I contacted Inslee's office. Nothing. They won't even call me back. They won't even contact me. Nothing. I've sent, like I said, I've got all these letters. I've contacted the attorney general. I've contacted attorney after attorney, but the marijuana attorneys are such douchebags these days anyway. You can't get an attorney for anything. They're all a bunch of ambulance chasing freaking losers who want nothing but the big money cases or something that's going to get their face on TV. They won't help anybody with any legitimate causes. I mean, if I spilled some coffee on my lap at McDonald's, and maybe, because I was a retard and couldn't hold my own damn cup or determine the temperature of something I'm about to drink, I could probably find an attorney. Oh, that's right. There was one that sued McDonald's for how many millions? Yeah, losers like that. I mean, not even a legitimate freaking case, but I got so many legitimate cases, it's unreal. Jay fucking Inslee is against marijuana patients. Washington State is so corrupt. All he cares about is the millionaires, the rich people. He's corrupt as hell. He's ruined marijuana. He really, actually, the quality is shit. The retail shops are going downhill. The marijuana is going downhill. The prices are ridiculous. It's just asinine, and patients can't deal with it. The bottom line is, I was growing, but now because of the state, because I don't even know, excuse me, if I can't afford to get my my medical license renewed, and that's another thing. They changed it in this state so that if any other medicine will work, any other pills or garbage will work, they want you to do that instead of the marijuana now. Which is stupid because in the first place, a doctor's almost killed me. Dr. Johnstone in Stevens County almost killed me years ago after I was in a very horrible car wreck. She didn't help me with. I have scars upon scars now because I finally had all the surgeries. I'm still having surgeries, but at first, after the car wreck, she didn't do anything but get me hooked on oxycodone for 5 years. I was up to 200 pills a month when the bitch decides that she doesn't want to be my doctor anymore and just, oh, well, I'm not going to be your doctor anymore. Bye. And I get cut off cold turkey after being on them for 5 freaking years, 200 a month. Didn't even know what was happening to me. Another story. We'll do that another time. But when I got my medical marijuana license, my life changed. I got off of all the pills. I mean, I had been on up to 15 different prescriptions, trazodone, naproxen, cyclobenzaprine, the oxycodone, Nexium, fuck, there was like all kinds of other shit that I was on, and I got rid of all of them, and pot is all I need. That's all I need. I sleep good. My stomach's fine. It helps with my PTSD, my CTE. I mean, I have this little button. It's so cute. It says, if it wasn't for weed, I'd be a serial killer. And I tell people, that's not a fucking joke. Really, dude. Anyway, so yeah, marijuana helped with all of it. It helped me with everything. And this bullshit about not driving on marijuana, that's bullshit. People like me, you should require it because it's the only way I don't have road rage. Otherwise, I'll run your fucking ass over and kill you. I don't even care. Marijuana makes me mellow, so I'm like, whatever, dude. Go ahead. Go down the road and be your stupid self. I don't care. I'll just stay in my lane, mind the rules, do what I'm supposed to do. That's what marijuana does for me. Otherwise, I'm like, fucker, you gonna cut me off? Oh, I'll teach you a goddamn lesson. Yeah, is that what you really want behind the wheel? Yeah. Okay. So, anyway, moving on. So, yeah, back to Frank fucking Odell. Yeah, he intentionally kept me from getting my license. Governor Inslee is against marijuana patients. They changed the rules. So, in July, I can't get my priority bumped up. My prescription expired, and I don't want to try all these stupid pills that they say I should try instead of the marijuana, number one. Number two, oh, and then you have to be registered with the state, so they have all your information. It's not private anymore. Um, yeah, so I couldn't afford my prescription renewal. So, being as I just left my abusive husband, who, another story, and I'm living on $650 a month. So I spent 288 bucks of it last month on my medicine, and that only lasted for about 2.5 weeks. Then I ran out. I became so depressed. I mean, literally the day I ran out, it hadn't even been 12 hours, 24 hours, whatever. I literally became so depressed that I was crying. I couldn't think. I couldn't do anything because of my PTSD and my CTE. I've been beaten by cops and men so many times. I've had my head smashed into sidewalks by King County police officers. Yeah, Officer Taylor, hi. Yeah. So anyway, that's another video. Uh, so my CT and everything else started kicking in. I'm crying. I can't sleep. My stomach's upset. I'm all these things are happening. I'm freaking out. I knew within days I'd become so depressed I'd probably start feeling suicidal. I just couldn't deal with it. My mom, thank God, she helped me out and loaned me some money. But I was getting ready to sell everything that, what few things I have left, hawk everything I own, whatever I had to do. I was even considering becoming some kind of a criminal, even though I know I wouldn't be very good at it. But I can't go without it, period. And yet I can't afford it. I can't afford to get my prescription. I can't afford to buy it. This is bullshit. So I decided I was going to do a hunger strike. I'm not positive I'm going to do that. This is just my very first video. I'm thinking about it. I will need supporters. I'll need somebody to help me film it, live stream videos so that I can prove that I don't touch any food. It will be live streamed, so every moment, every second, every emotion, every bit of pain, everything will be filmed. And if I die, if that will be on film too for everyone to see. I'm willing to do that. I am willing to do that for sure. But I'll need help. I'll need supporters, people that will stay with me every moment and switch off or whatever and help me videotape, stream, uh, talk to people, whatever. So if you're interested, just contact me through my Facebook page. I'm so lame at this. My son's not here. Like I said, this is my first video, and I'm so lame at this. I think my name on Facebook is Jenna Lauren, Loran. I won't swear to it, but I'm pretty sure. So you can contact me through Facebook, send me a message. I'll be setting up a Facebook page where you just follow it, I guess, and I just put information on it. And then I think when I put this on YouTube, you could probably make some comments or something or whatever, and I can answer it. But like I said, haters, don't even bother. I'll ignore it, whatever. So all right. Well, thank you. If you've managed to sit through this, my next video will be much better. This one was kind of like a practice thing. I don't even know how to upload it, so that's what I just figured out how to even turn my camera on and off. It's just this tiny little screen, a box on the screen of my computer. I can't even enlarge it. I don't know how to do any of this stuff, so bear with me, and we can travel down this road together. And this is just the start. I'm just now starting my engine, so to speak. So I haven't even put it in gear yet. I haven't even got on the road, out of the driveway yet. So you help me. I could use all the help I could get with this, and send letters to Jay Inslee. Contact that douchebag and tell him that we will not stand for this. I mean it. I'm ready for civil war, any kind, whatever it takes, because this is bullshit and things need to stop. And he needs to stop lining his money with pockets with money. Sorry, I'm sure I'm gonna get like totally slammed for that one. But he needs to stop lining his pockets with money and only caring about the rich people, giving all the contracts to rich people. Half the shops in this state now are run from people out of state. Kind of like he gave the ferry food contracts to some douchebag company from out of state, and is putting people who have had their little stands at the ferry docks out of business, who have been there for 10, 20 years or more, so that some rich ass company from out of state just now got the contract. Inslee's a douchebag. He's a traitor. He should be freaking tried and put in jail. Do not reelect him. We need to stop his reelection. Have a good day. Thank you for sitting through my unscripted, probably boring video. And next time I will do much better. Thank you.